My name is Bryce Cole. I was a sergeant in the Army, and I'm from Texas. I live in Houston now. I've always had a real innate desire to be in the Army and serve my country, probably from the time I saw my first Rambo movie. Growing up my whole life, and I had a lot of family members that did that as well, and so it was kind of something I always wanted to do. I hit a lot of IEDs when I was in Iraq. I mean, obviously everybody knows that that's what they're using these days, and we hit a lot of them, and I shattered my ankle and my leg, and had a cranial swelling from hitting one, and I guess I had a traumatic brain injury, and ruptured some discs in my back and tore some other discs, so it's kind of a whole bunch of different things, and I've had the opportunity to kind of work through those, and it's been pretty good going so far. I came here with the Wounded Warrior Project, and they've been really great, and we've done a lot of stuff with them over the years, and they're just a really good group of folks that are really taking care of injured soldiers. One of the really big things that they did to kind of help us was, first and foremost, just to let us know that there was somebody there that was looking out for us and wanted to help us, and it was really instrumental, you know, when I first came back from Iraq, because you know, there's a lot of confusion involved with that, and then through all the changes of getting, you know, leaving my unit, going to a transition brigade, leaving the Army, transitioning into being a regular person again with a job, they've always stuck with it and always been there and been someone you could lean on and rely on whenever you needed anything. And they're just kind of a catch-all, go-to organization helping injured soldiers. No, I don't regret any of it, you know, and I think especially, you know, moments like this when we come on these rides and you look around, you see all the other guys, and you can't help but feel that no matter what you gave, there's always someone who gave more, so I don't think that there's anything I would ever do to change that. I'm very happy where I'm at, and I wouldn't give those memories up for anything. I think, you know, just for one of the key reasons, what I said, you know, one of the unique things about them is that no matter what the changes are that go through a wounded soldier's life when they come back from combat or theater, they're always there with that organization, and no matter what goes on in the government or in the Army or what organization they change the name to or anything, because you'd be amazed how many times they change the names of these things. The Wounded Warrior Project has always been there and has been a steady force to provide whatever services you need, and you can literally call these guys up and say, hey, I'm having trouble with this, and they will help you out. And it would be very hard for me to put a finger on one specific thing that they have done or can do to help injured soldiers in their recovery and in anything, because they just do so much. So I think that's one of the really great things about them. I'm looking forward to having a blast. I mean, one of the great things that I love about mountain biking, as opposed to anything else that I love to do, is that when you're mountain biking, you're 100% in the moment, and you can literally think about nothing else. And I know that sounds crazy, but there's something just really exhilarating and addictive about that. And so I'm looking forward to having a blast. I'm looking forward to riding the trails out here in this area of Texas I've never done before. Obviously, you know, it goes without saying, being able to meet the president and the camaraderie that comes along with being out here with my fellow wounded soldiers. And on top of that, the people that really appreciate the things that we did for our country and the things that people continue to do every day for our country. I've been riding since the late 90s, on and off again. And one of the great things about mountain bike riding is that when I got injured, I mean, running really wasn't much of an option for me anymore. And I've always had kind of a competitive spirit and like to be outdoors and active, and turning to mountain biking was a big outlet for me. So I got a lot more involved in it then, but I've been doing it pretty much since the late 90s.